Hey, I am back in the office for this week. I wanted to debrief you guys on what I saw and experienced in Houston this last weekend. It's Monday, so I just got back into town yesterday, and then I had youth group, and I slept for a few. Well, if I say a few hours, I slept a normal amount. Then I'd work and I had errands to run, and I've just been relaxing since I didn't really get a day off this weekend. But went down to Houston to visit my friend Allison. I know her from college. She was 2 years ahead of me, and we had a class together. And I think, if I remember correctly, we might have done some prison ministry together through one of LCU's on-campus student groups. They were called merge groups. So I think she was. I associate her with that, but I don't think she was actually there. But anyway, went down to see her and met her roommates, met her life group, visited her church yesterday. But Saturday, oh my gosh, Saturday was crazy. We met up at the church about 8 a.m. and then we drove to this, I think it was like the southeast side of Houston, or southwest, something like that. Anyway, we went to a neighborhood in Houston and adjust the camera a little bit. Went to a neighborhood and went to a lady's house to help her clear out all of her things that were damaged by flooding. And as we drove there, we saw a time or two. We'd looked off to the side, off the interstate, and we'd see what was like an old, let's say like an old McDonald's or something. And instead of like the full building, like the front half of it would just be a pile of rubble. And then you just see like this open space inside of what was left of the building structure. And when we saw the first one, we all just paused and looked at it and just said, "Oh." And then we got back into conversation, and then we turned into the neighborhood. And as we were driving, on both sides of the road, you would look in front of every single house was this massive pile of furniture and belongings and electronics and drywall and sheetrock, and everything that got wet was just torn out of the house and thrown into a massive pile. I actually took a video of it, and so I'll insert that here. But yeah, that was just the neighborhood that we worked in. And later that night, Allison took us through a little tour of her neck of the woods, the area where she lives, and we saw just more and more streets like that, with houses with these massive piles of debris and trash and damage just in their front yards. And there were businesses too that were affected. We saw some buildings that had just been completely gutted. Like all that was left was the framework, 4x4s and whatever. Like there were no walls, no doors, no ceiling, no roof, just the frame of the house or the business, and piles of debris in front of wood and concrete and whatever else was used to make up the house. And it was terrifying, in a word. But at the same time, in the midst of all this somber, this sadness, this realization, this eye-opening experience, there were people who had jumped in headlong and were serving the best they could. We heard stories about a nurse from Pennsylvania who flew down to Houston and was volunteering in a shelter because she saw a need and she could fill it. And of neighborhoods that got flooded, so that like the houses weren't damaged, but the roads were full of water, so the people couldn't get out. So people down the road who could get out went and bought groceries and canoed them down to these people who couldn't get out. And at this house that we cleaned up, we spent 6 hours there and pulled out a ton of stuff, tried to save what we could for the sake of the couple who lived there, who owned the house, but a lot of stuff just got thrown to the curb. And I spent 20-25 minutes or so talking to the husband and I think it's the wife's cousin's husband, and just getting to know them, getting to know where they came from, trying to be present and minister to them and encourage them, because he had bad knees and felt bad that he called himself an invalid and felt bad that he couldn't help. And I just said, no. We are here to serve you. You sit tight and let us be a blessing to you. And I talked with him some more, got to know a little about his life. I shared my own experience, my own ministry, and I prayed with him, prayed for him and his wife, and just sought to encourage them and say, hey, we are here to serve you. We hope that you feel loved and encouraged in the name of Jesus Christ. And it was awesome. You know, there's a Bible story there's a story in Luke chapter 10 of Jesus visiting Mary and Martha, and the whole principle is not being distracted by doing things, but focusing on what is called the good portion. And I'll probably talk about that late. I'll probably record another vlog this weekend, Friday or so, and talk about that more, because that story has so much more meaning to me now because of my experiences this weekend. But even more so, like, I just feel so like alive and encouraged by my ability to go down to Houston, and the fact that I did. Because I vaguely remember Katrina and Joplin, and there were tornadoes in the Peoria area when I went to school in Lincoln. And all these things, these other catastrophes were just so disconnected from me. They were so far away. I just didn't connect with them like I did with this. Like, as soon as I heard that there was flooding in Houston, I just had this gut clenching feeling that, like, I need to help in whatever way I can. And so Allison, maybe even jokingly, suggested I get a group of people and come down, and I just said, dude, I'm doing it. I was honestly going to ask her if I could come down anyway. And so it was perfect that she extended the invite and I accepted it, and I went. And it was awesome. It was eye-opening. It was life-changing. It was the good portion. It was good work, and I am glad that I did it. I don't regret a single second. I wish so badly that I could go back like this weekend, but I can't afford to drive to Houston. It's 6 hours from me. I can't afford to go every weekend, but maybe here in a couple weeks I'll make another trip back and help do some more working and cleaning at houses. But that's it. That's what I experienced in Houston. A lot of brokenness and sadness, but a lot of hope, a lot of Jesus, a lot of faithful believers of Jesus doing what he has called us to do. And that was pretty awesome. I know it's a little bit of a serious topic, not as fun and lighthearted as my normal day-to-day life, but that is real. That is a reality. And Florida's getting hit really hard right now, and I'm praying for them, and I'm looking forward to maybe taking a trip with my high school friends to go help them out this Christmas. But that's it. That's Houston. That's what I saw. That was my experiences. If any of you, if anybody watching this is from Houston, dude, comment on this, find me on social media, and message me and tell me more about your experiences, because I want to know. Like, I want to experience what you experienced. I want to know what it's like to live through that, because I just saw the aftermath. I wasn't there for the actual storm, but my vlog's getting a little long. Not for good purpose, for totally good reason. Like, I'm glad that this one is so long, so you can understand what I saw and what I experienced and what I felt. But if you want to know more, message me somehow. Comment on this video. Find me on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Just find me and shoot me a message and talk to me. I would gladly share more about what I saw and experienced, because it was eye-opening. It was life-changing. But in the meantime, peace.